Hello, everyone. Welcome to this session on giving you an overview of my viewpoint and my ideas on how you could make the maximum benefit of your IT career, get what you qualify for, and get even more better than that. So, primarily, what can you do to be able to get the best out of your whole career, your whole hard work, and make sure that you are in control of the entire IT career that you have set yourself as a goal for. So, this is the brief agenda of what we're going to do today, team. So, we will start with talking about what typically are the client and employer challenges when someone wants to hire people, when they want projects to be done. What do they go through? Unless we understand their point of view, it's very tough for you to try and get a solution to it. Next, I'm going to talk about the Superman concept at work. Who is a Superman? What does he or she do? And what is typically the overall attributes for it? Then we will talk about can you be a Superman at work and your charter. What is it that you should start doing today to be able to get the best benefit for yourself in the IT industry? And the benefit is not just a pay rate, team. Pay rate is one of the many factors, but you got to look at a position, you got to look at a work or a job or a client that or a project that you're passionate, you like to work with, and so on. Overall is what you will have to set up your goal for. All right. Now, having said this, let's talk about client employer challenges. So, team, we have a very, very large audience, and I'm very glad to see there were over 1,000 registrations for this webinar, and it's a very unique thing that we have experienced so far at ITeLearn. We have never really got so many registrations for one specific event. Now, the question that I want to ask you and hear from you on the chat, and I want to look at the chat and be able to see the responses are what do you think are the client employer challenges in today's IT world? We are only focused in the IT industry in terms of the typical challenges. Our approach may be very generic, but what are the challenges that you see? What do you think that typically you go and see a client? What do you think they have a problem for? What is their concern in life? Then I want to talk about what can we do at our end to be able to resolve it. So please go ahead, take a few seconds and start giving me a few feedbacks. You can use your questions team to be able to put it there. So I'm starting to get responses. I get responses saying offshore outsourcing. So primarily someone is saying that there's a problem with offshore outsourcing. But why is offshore outsourcing an issue? It's supposed to be a benefit, right? It cuts the costs for the clients. They want quick and cost effective solution. All right. Technical skill. There you go. Very good. Thank you. What else? Time frame for completion of projects. Yes. Client requirement is not reached. Goals are not accomplished. Retain good people. Perfect. Absolutely, yes, Fred. Employer thinks only cost. And I think this is where we really struggle in understanding an employer team. I'll tell you why. Okay. The client or employer has already set aside a budget. The money matter is the first thing that is always solved and it is put aside. It doesn't come up again in the picture. It will only come up in your bank balance every month after that. So once the money aspect or the budget is assigned that we need a certain position, now they're looking at hiring the best people for that position. Nothing else, team. All right. And then you will look at, let me see, there are hundreds of responses teams. I'm just making sure that I go through a few of them. We're then talking about finding a right candidate, 100% satisfaction from the client, efforts that we take, people who do multitasking, cost cutting. Budget is always a challenge team. Okay. But once the budget is assigned and once they know that this is going to happen and so on, product quality, communication gap. So there are a bunch of things. Yeah, the page is blank because I'm trying to get your responses and then put it up with mine. So over expectations, lack of skilled employers, and so on. So here are a few of those things, and there is an endless list of the challenges. Only when you know and you appreciate the challenges that the IT industry is facing, that is when we could do something about it. So here are some of the points that I could put in. we're talking about quality of consultants, we're talking about technical skills, the ability to be able to execute something, how well are the people trained or have an expertise in certain technical areas or tools. Com skills becomes a very very big challenge team, especially with multi-location offices, global delivery teams. It becomes absolutely important. Com skills is not about how well you speak, it is also about how well you write, how well you are able to create and maintain documents, and how effective is the communication at the end of the day. All right, it doesn't matter if I write one good email in a year, how well am I communicating on a frequent basis and how consistently am I doing it is very important. Then we talk about finding and hiring. I don't know how many of you are aware, team, but if you're aware of small and medium sized industries or businesses, bulk of the time for the owner or an entrepreneur goes through finding and recruiting the right team. So it is one of the biggest challenges that the industry is being faced with. And why is it a challenge? The challenge is about 6 7 years ago, a project lead had about 7 to 8 years experience. A project manager had about 10 to 12 years experience. A senior architect or someone had minimum 5 years experience. It has just got cut in half, all of these things in the recent years, team. There is a pyramid. How many of you are aware of a pyramid, team? The IT pyramid or organizational pyramid, where we talk about the bulk of good people being at the top, and then we have the more freshers and inexperienced people being at the bottom. That pyramid, if you imagine like a triangle, has got flattened. What that means is the peak has come down and the base has become wider. There are more people at the bottom who are starting to become IT professionals than people at the top, because overnight we cannot get people with 5 years experience. Overnight we cannot get people with 15 years experience. They're already there in the market. Trying to find someone like that and hiring is a challenge, and employers know that. So sometimes we have to replace our talent of finding the very very experienced people with the finding the people with specific expertise, and that is where the industry will start to go to. The next thing is retaining, team. Irrespective of all the facts that we find employees, we get the great team into it, it is very tough to retain. Why? The industry keeps knocking on your door, says, hey, I want you, I want you, I want you. If you're good, even if you're average, you get many opportunities, team. That is how desperate these days requirements are, because there's a dearth of good people. The companies will not let go of the good people who are already there. They retain them by giving them perks, bonuses, assignments, projects, different responsibilities to keep them motivated. So finding and retaining becomes a bigger challenge. And these challenges are all there. So what are you doing at your end? What are we doing at our end to resolve this, to help the clients with this kind of an issue? And and there's so many other things that I've not even put. Commitment of time. We've committed for a project. Have we executed that? Have we performed that execution in time, on time? Have we delivered things on time? These become so important for us to understand. And that commitment to a job, how committed is one resource in working at a job, becomes so critical thing. There's so many times people need a job, they don't need a career. They don't come to work because they like to come to work, because they need a job, they need the pay, and they need to be coming to the job just to make that earning. And that, bringing that commitment for people to involve into, becomes a major challenge. This, along with all the things that you've mentioned, is what typically talks about what the issues that we face, team. The next few slides is all about talking about Superman at work, team. But what I want to talk about before I get there is a quick poll. I want you to take a minute and answer this short question for me. This question is a good question. I love this question because this is what makes me on a daily basis become better and make a constant progress and improvement in my own professional career. Do you know a Superman at work? There's a spell error. It's supposed to be, do you know a Superman at work, team? When I say, do you know a Superman at work, the intent is many of us have been working in the industry across everywhere. Who is a Superman? A Superman primarily is a person who is doing the bulk of the work, raises to the challenges, and when things get really tough, he delivers the goods, the services that is needed. He's always depended on, and people can bank and be able to be rest assured when he or she is doing that activity. That is a Superman. The reason I'm asking, do you know Superman at work, is because do you idolize someone? Do you see these people on a daily basis? If you don't see them in your IT organization, in your daily life, in your sports life, entertainment life, political life, career life, personal life, professional life, then how can you be one? You need someone to be able to relate with, and that is very important. Team, I've put a poll up for all the audience members who are not yet attentive. Please take a minute and just fill up this poll. There's a very simple question: do you know a Superman at work? Have you seen people doing it, being real powerful, being always available to execute things? There are three questions. Yes, I know someone who has that skill. The next one is I am the one, I am the Superman. People look at me for such things. And the third one is he even real? Do we really believe in Superman? So I've taken it more of an example for you to be able to relate. But the definition is very simple, team. These are the people who the client always believes in, and they are the perfect example for the 80-20 paradigm. They talk about 80-20 in the sense that 80% of the work is being done by 20% of the team, and they fall under that section. So team, only 60% of votes have come in. I'm going to give another few seconds and then close it. So please take a minute, fill it up. It's just a yes or no question, and then we can move forward. All right, 70% votes, team. I'm going to close this poll and I'm going to share these results with you. So we've got 65% of people have said yes. You have seen Superman at work, and you know that there is a lot of potential for how these people work and what happens through the entire process when you see the Superman executing things. The 21%, I'm really so happy to see that you have that self belief that you are the one. You are the one who's going through that process, and you are constantly inspiring others to become good and better at what they do. And easy real, and I want you to change the belief. I want you to start thinking that yes, these are the ones who really make things happen, and you ought to know how to get their team. We have a panel of participants today from ITeLearn, so any questions that are coming which are not being answered, team, give us a little time and we'll be able to get back to you on that. Let's continue with the next thing. This is my charter, or the way I look at things, team. It is my perspective, my viewpoint, and I'm trying to share it with you to try and get you to understand and relate to what is needed to become a great executor, a great employee at work. So, seeing is believing thing. So, what I mean by seeing is believing is primarily that when you see a person and see the confidence that the person shows, that is when you start believing and saying that okay, I can depend, I can give something to this person. And a lot of members, I'm sure, are aware, at least the people who have been watching cricket, of our great captain MS Dhoni, and how you can believe. It is all about displaying the confidence, team. How can you display? So the minute the team sees him or the opponents see him, he's already showing all the confidence through his face, and you know you can trust that yes, he or she can do, and that will come through careful, serious execution. But at the end of the day, when you see that Superman, you know and you can believe that he will or she will deliver the goods. All right, so you need to show that in your face, team. If you don't show it in your face, if you look weak and not very strong about your skills and what you can do, you're not going to be a Superman. So you have to not just be confident, you have to display the confidence. Remember that there is a lot of difference there. Displaying confidence and then being confident. The next one is being inspired. If you are always trying to lead but are never going to be inspired by someone, any idol that you take, anyone that you really believe that does the things in a dramatically different way. I don't think any of us or most of us may not even get the opportunity to become the superheroes or the super idols that the world has seen. But just the fact that you are aware that they are there and they need to be passing on certain attributes that you can pick and learn from. While I'm relating to non-IT world, there is a very close resemblance when you go back and look at your IT world team. You can go back and look at who are the people who perform at that level and get inspiration from them, and how do they work hard, how do they drive projects, how do they really learn new things, how good are they at executing, talking, and so on. So please be inspired, find who you idealize and try and follow them, make them as your gurus, learn from them. Experience team at the end of the day is all about it. But let me ask you this question: if a person with 10 years of experience comes to you, or if a person with 3 years experience comes to you, who would you prefer? Who would you prefer to get a project to? The one with 10 years or the one with 3 years? But what if I say, so 10 years typically, right? The 3 years has a specific expertise, and that becomes the selling point, team. We're talking about experience, number of years. We're not talking about exposure. What if the person has done 6 different projects in the 2 years of experience that he has or she has? The exposure that they've gone through is significant, rather than one person who's only spent one job in last 10 years and has really worked nothing but maintenance on one project. Now you know the difference. It is not how long you've been working in the industry. What have you been exposed to? What have you gone through? The toughest steel comes through the hottest furnace. Have you been exposed to challenges? Have you gone through rigorous training, rigorous execution, even though you don't have too much experience, team? That becomes so critical. Are you an expert, or are you just someone who has experience? So remember that and try and gain. And trust me, team, this is some lot of times not at your hand. Once you get onto a project, you are assigned a project and you go through it. But if you keep on working on it, building your skills and so on, you will become an expert at things and not just building experience. This is a very important thing, team. This is all about 99. Is 99 equal to 100 minus 1? How many of you people believe it? 99 is 100 minus 1. In real world, 99 is not 100 minus 1, team. 99 is 100 minus 99. It is equivalent to nothing almost. The point that I'm trying to make, team, is you have to try and be a finisher. Someone who completes things. I don't mind, or the industry doesn't mind, if you take only 3 tasks instead of 4 tasks, but you complete 3 tasks and not complete 2 out of the 4 tasks given to you. All right. Lot of times we'll see people not completing the assignments, not submitting projects, and just leaving things 99% done. Focus on completing it, team. I sometimes make the same mistake. I'm still learning, I'm still trying hard to get to that. But once you're aware that a task completed is much more important than 5 tasks pending and being in the pending state. So focus on the completion of anything. And when I say that, for example, let us say that you have decided to do a certification on ISTQB or anything on QTP or any other skill, SAP and so on. Have you completed it? Did you get the certificate, or are you still preparing for it? There is a significant difference there. Okay, there is nothing like I'm 99% completed my certification. Either you're certified or you're not certified. Have you completely given up, learned Selenium with core Java and frameworks, or you've learned something like Load Runner or Oracle and so on? That becomes very important, team. Do not try and leave tasks unfinished. Next one, challenger. I don't know how many of you seen is this specific inspirational hero and the videos that have come out on him in the social networks. Have you, any of you seen? How many of you have not seen, rather? How many of you have not seen this specific person? This gentleman has no limbs, no hands, no arms, no legs, and is an inspirational speaker, is an inspirational doer, always has got the smile on his face, and is just running around things, assuming that this is the best. The concept that I wanted to drive through this specific inspirational hero is the fact that it does not matter what you're given in the world. You can always be inspired to start doing things. You have to be ready and show the facing. Bring it on to me. Give it to me. I am ready. I'm here. People should be able to depend on you, rely on you, team. There are so many things I'm talking about. Do you really think you can do all of this? Do I really think I will do all of this in all the circumstances? Not necessarily. But if I am not aware about it, I will never even try it. So I am trying to raise your awareness on these aspects. It does not matter. Hey, I don't come from a technical background. I'm not an engineer. I'm not a computer science. I have 10 years gap in the industry. I come from a medical line. I have my own business. I work at a fuel station. I'm a mother with 3 kids. Does not matter where you are, what you are. We have more excuses than one willingness to say that I'm going to give it my best try. And that is what I'm saying, team. And those are the people that really become successful. And that is what will decide if you get $25 an hour on a project or $70 an hour. And it's a journey. Be aware of what it takes to go there, and then we can do. What is this, team? What is this? Actions over words. What I mean is, if I truly didn't believe any of these things, I would not be speaking right now. If I have not shown majority of them in what I do, I should not be talking about this. This is my belief. This is what I try and do. I fail, no problem, but I'm aware that I'm failing and I'm giving it my effort to pass over and over again. Actions over words. It doesn't matter what you talk. So please talk less, commit less, do more. At the same time, don't say when someone asks you for a project completion, say that, oh, you know what, I'll take 6 months to do it. No problem, I'll deliver it in 6 months. No one cares when you say 6 months. You should say something like, I will come up with the first pilot in 2 weeks. I want to be able to get that review. And in the next 2 weeks, we'll complete it together. I'm sure we can achieve it. That is what it is all about. All right. So please make sure that you have words that are lesser than your actions. So let your actions speak for itself and don't count so much on words. Okay, let's see. Being passionate, team. I don't know how many of you know King Khan. I'm taking so many examples because some of them have been inspiring me over the period of time, and I've really look at them. And this list is endless for me, honestly, team. But just the fact that we got to take some inspiration from each of them. Shah Rukh Khan is one of the very few people who's so passionate about work, came from non-filmy background. He is not, again, I'm taking this from a Bollywood reference. A lot of people from an audience from a non-Indian background may not be aware, but just the fact that he's one of the top film stars in our subcontinent in India. And he is extremely passionate about the work right from the day one. And he was bent about the fact that yes, I'm going to be a hero, I'm going to be the top one, and so on. In fact, it was the same thing for Arnold Schwarzenegger out here in the US. He was very young career, he said that, you know what, I will be the top actor in Hollywood, and he did become one of the top actors in Hollywood. And his determination, the fact is, they were passionate about what they were. They just didn't become whatever they were just by luck and so on. And to such an extent that people ask them, I mean, why do you, they don't even need the money to work. They love working so much that they will work for free. But you have to ask. They will ask for them. Do you think they charge less? No, they charge in millions and millions of dollars. But why do they ask? Because that role deserves it. Your role deserves it. If you don't put a good price on your skill, on your talent, you are truly underselling yourself. If you don't have the trust, no one else will. If you don't go and ask for $60 an hour or $65 an hour, no one will. But at the same time, you have to build it. You can't say that, okay, I finished my training, I want $65 an hour. You got to build on it, work for 6 months, build your expertise, work hard and then ask, work hard and then ask. If you're passionate about something, you will get paid for it and you can put a price to it. If not, you will be stuck with the fact that, hey, you know what? Let me get whatever I want. What is the industry paying? $40? Okay, give me 38. That is what we do as a mistake team. You have to talk about 42 if the industry is paying 40. Try and get to that level where you are commanding. This is the next one team. I know a few smooth talkers. When I say smooth talkers, people who talk and they have an audience who will listen. All right. We know our Prime Minister in India. This gentleman is a great talker, and so is Obama. Mr. President, he speaks so fluently. If you have to see these people speaking, you will know that there are listeners. And there is a great talent in speaking. I don't know ever if I'll ever become as good speakers as they are. But if I don't listen to such people, or if I don't take inspirations from them, it'll become a problem for me. I will never ever grow from where I am. I want you to build an audience, and you need listeners to be able to do that. So try and find people, try and find teams and groups that you can work with, you can talk with, who can be listeners, who are there to listen for you. You should be a great listener. Everyone does say that, but you also need people to listen to, and you have to get to that position to be able to do that to smooth talk team. The last one that I have that is very important is to be a specialist at the end of the day. If you're not specializing in something, if you don't have a skill that is very unique to you, that very hardly very few people in the market have, then it's a problem. For example, if you just say that, oh, you know what, I am a QTP automation engineer. There are over 200,000 automation QTP automation engineers in the world. What is your specialty? I am an expert at scripting. I create very detailed high automation frameworks. I work extensively with descriptive programming, and I am a hands-on automation engineer. That may be a specialty. Or saying that I have built over 5 or 6 automation frameworks specifically in the healthcare industry. That becomes a specialty team. Just saying that I'm a QTP automation engineer does not make you special. So you got to realize, what are you special at? What is it that you can go and say that this is what I do, this is exactly what I do. All right. So if someone comes to me and says, Karthik, what are you good at? I'll say I'm very good at teaching, I'm very good in automation testing, I am extremely good in online marketing. These are the 3 areas that I do well. And when I say this, I know exactly to the next sentence where I can go, what is the specialty into it. Unless you build those specific specialty skills thing, you cannot really go there. And of course, as an inspiration from the great man Sachin himself, stay grounded. The minute I showed Dhoni in the first slide, someone kept asking me, where is Sachin coming, is he there in the list or not? There you go. I couldn't We could never miss him out of such situations. So there you go. These are the inspirational people team. Some of them, not everyone, but just the fact that they're there for you to learn. I want you to find your Superman and be able to do it. But unless you keep going into the play repeat cycle, you sharpen your saw and constantly learn things and apply it, learn and apply, learn and apply, and keep repeating it, we cannot get there. But the good news is, it will not take you 5 years. You can do this and become a star in one simple year team. And let me challenge anyone on that. If you do it right, if you take in the right mode of doing the execution, 1 year is enough for you to really become a star, to really become a Superman. Now, before you think different, I said there's no favorites for me. I have idols. They're the inspirations for me. I try myself. I keep failing till I succeed. And I want you to know that, in short, you should see a Superman, learn a few things, and try and repeat them. And at the end of the day, there is no secret. It is hard work, realizing where you are, what you need, filling that gap, and then going about implementing team. Now let's get into very specific things about the programs that are coming up and what we're doing with it. But before that, I want to know at this moment that, can you ever be a Superman at work? And there is endless list of inspirations, endless list of things. If you go on the website and say how to get a better pay in IT industry, you'll get bunch of websites explaining different points. But at the end of the day, they're all theoretical points unless you relate it with people and say that, okay, here are the Superman, and this is what we need to see. Now, I want to know if you can be a Superman. And typically, the problem that we think, team, is that a Superman is the one who does everything. No, typically, they're super good in one thing, at least. They can be highly dependent on one thing. For example, you give them a requirement and they'll come up with the best website design or mock-up, or they will come up with the designing the best database schema for the project, or they'll come up with the best UI mock-ups, or the best architecture for the entire project. So some specific thing that they become good at, or developing the best automation scripts. So you have to know if you can be a Superman, if you are having that capability to get there, to go there and learn things and be there. And trust me on this, it will not take more than a year to really be a specialist. And then you talk about your $75 an hour. All I'm saying is there is big scope for it. There is a whole dearth of challenges. Please understand and solve the challenges. Money will come behind it. When you become a problem solver, the money is going to flow with you, team. So I've got the votes, about 66%. Not everyone has voted, team, but I'm going to close the votes in a second. And just very simple, can you be a Superman? Yes or no? This is very good for this fact that I'm so glad to see the audience has that confidence, has the belief, and that is immense. Okay, 94% of you have believed that yes, you could do it. You can be a Superman. You can be a specialist in one area and be the one that the other team members, other projects, and your overall organizations will look up on to. Great. And I really appreciate the fact that you are thinking that direction. That is very, very motivating, team. Thank you so much. And this is really inspiring, just the fact that you're looking into it. Now let's talk about our charter, team. I want to know a little bit about who you are. I want to talk about Master of Software Testing, very brief for a few minutes, and the upcoming Selenium training, and a special offer that I want you to be eligible for at the end of the session. So before I go further, one quick poll just for me to understand who you are. Okay, actually two polls. Are you a premium member with ITeLearn? Yes or no, please. Just take 10 seconds and answer this for me. So this will let us know how many people are members currently and how many people are not, how many members are not. And then we can get into specific plan discussions. So it's almost about, so far it's equal, almost 50-50 so far, team. So I'm going to close the poll at this second. And I'm going to share the results. There you go. About 54% is yes. When I say premium members, you are already paid for one or more courses with ITeLearn. You are going through the training program with us, and you are already there with some of it. Very good. Thank you. And one more last one. What is your current career position? This is important for us to know because that will tell me what is the majority of the population. Are you currently working and happy with your role goal in IT? Or are you working in QA but looking for better roles? Searching actively for a QA job? Need to start the search in near future. So I will see typically where the audience is. Which zone are you? Depending on where you are, we could talk about which program will best suit you. All right. So team, last poll before we get into the exact plan of what we are here today for. Almost done, 81%. So I'm assuming that we're good to go after this. Okay, almost 90%. Okay, there you go. Thank you. So share results, about 86% votes have come in, team. So 10% working and happy with your current goals, 37% working in QA but looking for better roles. So almost 45% is there. So there's about half an audience who are already working, but 80% of the people who are working are looking for career growth. Then there are another over 50% of people who are looking for an active, looking for a QA job. Some of you are active in the market. Some of you need to be starting in the near future. So this talks about where we are. I'm going to quickly hide the results and let's go to this document that I created last on the 5th of December in a similar session that we did for Master of Software Testing, QTP and Selenium at that point in time. So I'm going to quickly skip through some of these and take a blank sheet and start writing some of the stuff here. So team, very simple. Master of Software Testing. What is this program and how will it help you? Very briefly, let me tell you. It is a combination of many courses put together in the software arena. So if you're a beginner to IT or QA, this is a custom fit or a perfect fit course. All right. It starts slow and gains significant momentum in the hot skills needed by the market. So I will not get into all the details of what are the skills and so on, team, but basically you will start with as basic as MS Office, Word, Excel and so on. Go to QA as software testing, manual testing. We will talk about JIRA, Bugzilla, Quality Center or ALM. Then we'll get into the automation tools like QTP, Selenium. We will do a little bit on mobile, not a little bit. We will do mobile application testing using iPhone, Android, iOS, Android. We will talk about SQL database testing. We will talk about complete handling of interviews. How do you prepare a resume? How do you post it into different job boards and so on? So there's a complete package of different courses put together that takes anywhere between 2 to 4 months, and you can repeat as needed as many times. The reason is a lot of people start with master software testing and they're lucky enough to get within a month and a half a good job, so they discontinue, but they want to come back after a year or so and then get into specific learning, so you can continue to repeat as you need. Now this program is starting next week with Selenium. All right. The reason I'm starting with Selenium is very simple, team. There are no specific prereqs. We will start at ground, and even if you are someone who's not got the technical programming or IT experience, not an issue, because whatever you need to learn will be part of that program. The reason I'm starting with Selenium is because this is part of the MoST 3 batch. I'm already starting this and it is in the right time for job markets in Feb. So there will be a lot of job markets that will already open up this month and next month, and you should be able to get a job just by Selenium training. And when I say Selenium, it's not going to be Selenium. It's going to be Selenium with WebDriver, Core Java, JUnit TestNG, JUnit or TestNG. We could choose either of them, and automation frameworks. And as I said, team, for this or any of the courses that we do, there are hardly any prerequisites. We take it independently. We start it from the ground level, but these are great skills to have. After that, we will go back to start at level 0, and that is your manual testing and so on. The reason I'm inviting you for this batch of Selenium is only very simple, team. Either you're joining this batch or you're joining after a month and starting with that level 0, and then you'll come back after 3 months to Selenium. What I'm trying to do is attempt Selenium with me, see how it goes, and you may get a good profile ready with a project that we will do and put it in the job market, and you never know, there's a good job waiting for you there. I don't want you to lose that opportunity. And trust me, team, if after all this presentation, if I've not inspired you and made you believe that you could do things, as long as you go through the process, go through the right guidance, then it's a problem. Okay, I've done this because I want to be able to inspire you. I've seen a lot of times the biggest challenge for people is a fear of learning something new. Even I have the challenge. For example, I didn't know swimming about a year and a half ago. I never knew how to swim, But just the fact that I wanted to teach my daughter how to swim, I started going to swimming lessons with her. She was really scared. I started getting in the pool, and eventually, after drowning and choking a few times, I now can swim. I'm so glad to say that I'm able to swim. Just the fact that I have was so determined to learn, but it was so scary for me. And also, I felt very insecure of the fact that I could not swim. But now I'm so happy that I'm able to. And once you start learning things, team, you'll realize that you know what, learning anything is easy. You need the right audience, you need right instructor, you need the right platform to be able to learn. But more than that, you need a lot of self belief, team. So I want to push that self belief in you that you can do this. Is a great job market for it, and you should get started. So Master of Software Testing is a great course or a program for a beginner team. If you're someone who's starting, okay, you should do it. If you're already in the QA world, okay, and in a good job, or in a QA world and looking for progress and not having the skill on Selenium, then you should pick up just Selenium training. That's it. And live project. Live project is becoming almost an essential to all this training that we're doing these days, team. The reason is whatever you learn is almost one way. I'm teaching, you're learning, you're practicing, but and you don't even know how you're doing. In the live project, you will be doing, you will be struggling, you'll be executing, you'll be working with the teams. You will show how the projects are being done, and I would do the review and tell you how you're doing. Me and my technical members, Manoj and team, who will be helping you with it. So the live projects are becoming very successful. We get great reviews from it. People are seeing the value out of it. They're getting that hands-on confidence, and they will do wonders for you. So the Selenium training and live project, if you are already working in QA and looking for progress, that is the training you have to go. Next week, we have the first day one, day two demos. You're more than welcome to join it. We'll send you the registration link for it, and you should get there. Now, team, as I said, more than this, we have enough videos about it, or I'm ready to take a few questions from the audience. As I said, it is very simple, team. We need to be a specialist at something. You need to be really inspired by looking at people who are doing things in the right way. Okay, we will work hard. We will build hands-on experience. We will build the confidence that is displayed. It is not just a confidence that is displayed on the face when people meet you. The confidence must be displayed even in the resume. Lot of times when we work through the resumes for the MoST members, the members come and say, Karthik, I'm not very comfortable with VB script. I don't want to put VB script. And trust me, they would have felt that I should not have called Karthik, or I should not have spoken at the end of that conversation, because I go real crazy about it. The fact that, are you telling me that after going through all my program, you're not comfortable with scripting? I'll tell them, take the next 2 weeks, just watch my videos again, take this fast track, repeat it, practice it, and now come back and tell me. I'm going to challenge you. I will not admit it, team, that someone is not going to learn scripting. They will say, I'm not a programmer, I've not. Does not matter. You will be either at 60% or 99%. That is the difference. Don't tell me you're at 10%. And that becomes a challenge, team. You should display the confidence even in your resumes and your profiles. You have to have that. If you don't display it rightly, you will not get the opportunities that are there out there, not even a call. And the entire, which is that one that I had, there is a complete placement assistance program that you should look at, team. That will really drive you. I'm not sure how many of the current MoST members are looking and going through it, but that will really truly help. So there's a complete job placement training program. So if you look at this, there is a complete display of all that you could do there. All right. Now, any other questions that I could handle for you, please? I'm done with my session. Primarily, I wanted to go through these, and I don't think there is anything more left in the slide. Yes, I will talk about the special offer in a minute, but let me know if anyone has any questions, please. There are many questions that are coming across. I will try and do justice to as many answers as possible. I will also leave you a link where you can start putting your questions offline too, especially for the people who are watching the video and so on. All right. Meanwhile, let me briefly talk about the special offer while you put your questions in the chat. Okay. The special offer is very simple, team. in the for all courses over 1,000, I believe. For all courses that cost over $1,000. So primarily, most master software testing is the only one, unless you combine QTP, Selenium, and mobile application testing, or load runner, or PMP, and so on. So for all the courses that cost over $1,000, you can split into three monthly payments at 0% additional charge. So you don't need to pay everything at once. You can pay it into 3 payments. You have to use the special code my plan during checkout, and this is valid till 10th of Jan. All right, team. When we had the previous year's sale, year-end sale, there were almost 400 people who have joined the programs, and we did a lot of activity during that period. But people started continuing to come, especially for MoST 4, and I want to be able to give the opportunity to you. So my plan is a good option. So if you go to the pricing, the first thing here is my video will start playing. So let me pause it. That way it doesn't come up. And where is MoST? Okay, there you go. So I add 3-year videos for $2,000. Actually, I don't know why it says videos. It should be live or videos. So it's a $2,000 package. Automatically, there's a 20% discount when you add any product over 1,000. So it gets calculated. Now, when you add my plan during checkout and hit apply, you will see that you have two options: either one-time payment of $1,600 or 3 payments of $533. And that is something that a lot of people have been requesting, especially because it's a very highly priced course. That's the reason we've come up with this. Hopefully, it'll help everyone. All right, team. So now let's see the question. So that was a special offer that I've put out here, and special offer that you can try and see if it helps you out. Let's see questions. But how is the market for QTP UFT now? Market for QTP UFT is not bad, team. It is always good. They are coming up with new products. The thing about QTP UFT, the great thing is they're part of HP. HP is a wonderful marketing organization. They have huge contracts with large companies. And the fact that they are across into hardware, printers, servers, machines, and softwares is that they could do a lot of cross sells. So while there is a QA manager who is hell-bent about saying to their organization that, you know what, we should do Selenium, the company is already dealing with HP. They have licenses there, so they will go and use UFT or QTP. While the fact that there are while the fact that there are so many opportunities more in Selenium, the opportunities will continue to be there because of the strong marketing potential that HP brings to the table. Thank you, Mithul. Thank you for your feedback. Unable to hear, audio got lost. Do you teach Java 2 on that time frame? Yes. So Santoshi, one of the things that we do is the whole course is there. It is very tough to squeeze and do everything in the 3 weeks. However, what I'm going to be doing is I will be guiding as part of live. We will do a lot of project execution in the live, and we will also do certain trainings on Java, but I will also ask you to watch a few videos so that it will be faster for us to go forward. The only challenge that happens, team, I typically try and complete these trainings in about 15 hours and 15 sessions. However, sometimes it may take longer because I try and challenge myself at that time. So when I'm doing, are you all able to see my screen? Yes, right? I'm assuming you all can see my screen, right? Just a quick question, please, before I go back to the remaining answers. Can you all see my screen? Yes, thank you. Okay. So the challenge is, it's a mixture of videos and live. If needed, I will take more sessions. For example, the previous QTP training, I had planned for 15, but it took me about 20 sessions to complete the training, but I'll make sure that it's done. Okay. So you will go through it as we go along. How can we come prepared for this live Selenium class? So no prerequisites. While I say that, it'll really help for you to do certain things, team. There are a few free videos that are available that you should go through. I will have an email sent to all the registrants that are coming up for the Selenium training, and you should be able to register on there. I'm inspired by you, Karthik. Thank you so much, team. It would be great if you brief about yourself too, about your professional experience. I'm new to this live session. Okay, so I'll tell you very briefly about who I am, team. I am a computer science engineer, and I worked across all the cycles of SDLC for the first 4 or 5 years of my career. I then moved into pre sales, business development, and marketing in the IT world. I started managing large IT projects and accounts for Fortune 10, Fortune 50, Fortune 100 clients. So, my major part of the career was spent while I started in a very strong technology side. I started managing multiple projects for various clients, and I've had teams in the sizes of over 5,000 people worldwide. And so I was very client facing. I was always interacting with the client, and I knew exactly what the clients knew. At the same side, I was also hands on in terms of delivery. I knew exactly how things were happening in the delivery, what challenges we face. So I could get that almost a 360-degree view on the entire IT management, IT execution. And QA and QTP happened to be was something that I got involved for one of the clients about 5 6 years back, and I've become very good at it. And I started teaching. Once I started teaching, I've realized that people like the way I teach, like the way I go in depth, and I don't just give some theoretical concepts. The way I take projects as a way to teach rather than topics and express it. And over a period of time, I started my first batch with about 10 students. This was way back in 2008 or 9. And since then, I'm very fortunate to have trained over 15, 16,000 students so far. And we get millions of views on our YouTube account every year, and we have zero marketing so far. We are trying to get into marketing, but marketing is where we put our advertisements, we start putting Google ads, and so on. It has only been organic, it has word of mouth, YouTube, viral videos. That is how we've come across. We have a long way to go. We are still failing in a lot of areas, which is good. We are being aware of it, and we're trying to constantly improve. And I feel humbly, very humbly, that it's a great opportunity for us, that I have a great audience who's listening, who's been following what I do, and it's just an honor to be able to participate in this. All right, great, thank you. So let's go back to the questions. There are, team, honestly, over 50 questions right now. So let me see if I'm able to do justice. Even reading them will take me half an hour. I paid for Selenium course in Feb 2014 and could not complete it. No problem. Jay, come back, write an email to the team, and they will get you on board. What is automation frameworks? JUnit, TestNG are automation frameworks. JUnit, TestNG are Java frameworks, but automation frameworks are when you take QTP or Selenium and design something that can be reusable with least effort, but is still very concrete to be holding all the modifications, customizations that you do. So that's more like a theoretical answer, but to explain that to me, it'll take me about 6 hours driving through. How to enroll for QA master program? So very simple. As I showed you, you could go to the pricing page, you could look at MoST, and you could use the coupon and get enrolled there. Can talk about load runner performance testing. I am not an expert at load runner or performance testing, Abid, so I'm not the right person for it, but we have other trainers, and we have completed course videos out there. You can always enroll. Do you have any videos of SQL training? Yes, I've done them. They're there as part of the database testing. You could refer them on the website. So if you go back to ITeLearn.com, under online courses, you will see SQL database videos. Hello, and thank you so much for coming to the pricing page. A lot of people get confused with the pricing page, so I wanted to clarify, and that's why I put this short 5 minutes video. So as soon as you load the page, this comes up there. Let's see. How is the market for performance testing? I think pretty good. Let me go and see. When will the MoST training classes start? Okay. So MoST 4 training classes will start this time with Selenium. I'm just asking people to enroll early and start with Selenium. The manual testing, the basic flow, like we always go with MoST, will start as soon as the Selenium ends, that is mid of Feb. Okay. So till then, I don't want people to wait, but I want you to take the opportunity and use that. So please make sure that you are part of the ongoing Selenium if you're planning to join MoST, because it will benefit you. You can always repeat it after 3 months when I repeat the course, or 3 or 4 months. So, but right now it is very important for you to get there. If you're doing MoST 4, which videos should we begin watching? I would like to begin watching the videos now. While okay, so I want you to focus only on Selenium team, nothing else. So if you go to Selenium and click on free preview and details, you will be taken to the Selenium home page. Out here, the best thing that you can do is you can either go to the Selenium training videos here, or you can go to the 1-day masterclass training that I did. Either of them is fine. So if you go to Selenium training videos, in here there are two areas that I want people to really watch before we start. One is the Selenium IDE basics, and the next is how you set up Selenium Server Eclipse JUnit. Very simple videos. It will walk you through the basic concepts. If you get a little bit more time, you can go to the core Java basics out here. All right. That is all that I recommend for you to watch at the moment. Nothing more. And I will send an email. Manoj, please help draft an email about this, what videos that the team should watch before they come here. And that is more than sufficient for you to get started. Selenium IDE basics, little bit about core Java is enough. Even if you don't, not to worry, because I will start with it. All right, Tiffany? How long the duration for Selenium course? About 3 weeks training, and another 2 weeks will be the live project that you will execute. So about 5 weeks in total. Team, it's already 7:05. There are many questions that are there. And I really want to be able to give justice to what I'm doing out here. What I will do, team, is I'm going to take another 5-10 minutes and go through the sessions. But just to wind up what we're doing today, just want to let you know that the Selenium training is starting next week, and you should be a part of it if you're really looking to either start in the QA world or really grow in that world. It will really help you out a lot. Another word of thing is that there are over 80 or 90 paid participants into that webinar already, and typically we don't usually go over hundreds, but again, there's no limit to what we could do online. I don't want you to hurry up and take a decision, but just the fact that it is a very strong batch, there will be a lot of strong participation, and you could do a great teamwork and team learning through it. All right. Now, when you're ready, you can go ahead and either choose for your MoST or your Selenium training and get onboarded. You can use the special code as needed. And that's it for this session. I'm going to take the next 4 or 5 minutes and try and answer the questions that are still coming up. Any questions that are remaining pending, we will take it, we will capture them, and we will come back to you offline. All right. All right. Let's see. I have 10 years of experience in manual leading. Okay. Been QA in 10 years. Started as BA, now as QA leading. No technical background. Sriram, I got your message, but I didn't know what your question was. I have 10 years of experience manual testing. Can I go for automation as a fresher now? Can I expect a good pay since I'm new to automation? If you have 10 years experience in manual testing, why will you go as a fresher? You will go as someone who spent the next 6 months in automation through training and the projects that we are doing through me. And you will go very strongly with your automation experience and the 10 years of significant manual experience that you've gained. All right, Ganesh? Karthik, I've already paid for MoST 4 batch. When will I get the course schedule, timings, and so on? So, Spandy, all that you're getting right now is the communication. So we keep sending the communication out through emails. So keep watching your emails, you'll get it. So right now, this is the orientation session. I'm trying to guide people and inspire people about the programs. And Selenium is what you'll start with, and then we'll go into manual testing and so on. So Rupinder, we don't do only live projects, because what happens with live projects is I always ask people, refer them to watch these videos, watch those videos, and so on. So unless you get the access to the videos or the training, live projects won't make sense with us. We are working on job assistance. We keep sending many requirements that keep coming to our team. Specifically, we are focused at sending them to the participants who have filled up the placement form or the live project participants. So we do get a lot of requirements, and we do keep circulating them. You have to be part of our email communication and so on to be able to get that. Selenium course contains whole JavaScripting knowledge required for tools. So it's not JavaScripting, it is core Java programming language. Yes, it requires all the Java that you need as part of your Selenium automation projects. Will the Selenium class be sufficient for live project, or should I also register for the videos? When you register, okay, so here is how it works, and you should watch the pricing video, team. Videos is the base. There is nothing you can do without the videos. and then we do the live training also as an add-on sometimes. And then apart from the videos and live training, we also do this live projects, and that will give you the hands-on experience. So those are the three levels. Do we get a certification after taking the master of software testing course? Absolutely yes, Anika. Price for just Selenium, $350 for videos, $400 that includes the videos and live training, and I think $470 or so if it's live project also. Can you update the course for Salesforce? Salesforce, we don't have a course right now, Aditya. What about Indian students? How are they supposed to pay? And so Indian students, you could send an email directly to learn@itelan.com with your India contact number, so that the team can give you the local account details that you could start. You could do the transfer for. Can we choose to discontinue the classes? So you can always discontinue the classes and come back later and join. The only thing I don't do and I don't believe is I want people to be committed to the program. I have a zero refund policy. Just the fact that, and trust me team, if people have come with a genuine reason, we have always done the refund. Okay, but if people believe in misusing, that's what we've kind of put it down. We have a zero refund policy. We believe very strongly in a product. If we had not been doing so, the credit card companies and PayPal would have had a lot of issues. We would have a lot of issues through them by now. All right, so we are very happy with the level of satisfaction participants are getting, but the fact that it's a commitment-based program, that is why we don't have that. I missed start of today's session. No problem. I have hopefully recorded. Yes, I did the session, so you'll get a video of it. Is if I learn only QTP, what is the percent to get the job? Syed, I really can't say that. It is very tough. It is like you having a street and you're saying, will the home values be better on this side of the street or that side of the street? If it is that close to Selenium, it keeps going up and down. Selenium is still growing. There are other automation tools also that are coming up in the market that will give a good fight. QTP has a very vast reach because of HP, and that's what it is. Let's see, how is the market of Selenium? When will Selenium mode openings more for Selenium? Market for Selenium is good. Selenium openings have started. You can go to your local dice and start searching. You will see live classes for Selenium WebDriver plus Core Java. I believe it is it is the 12th or 13th, right? If I'm not wrong, it should be there in the schedule team. I don't really bother too much because I come very unprepared for these sessions. I have a very simple flow for all my trainings. I just take up a project and start doing it right in front of you. And it's very interesting. I love doing what I do, and that really takes me into that. So my webinars for Selenium, I don't think we have started sharing the link yet for registration. There you go. It's Jan 12th. It's coming Monday. It's starting. And we have already about 287 registrations for it. So this is going to be an important one, team. Okay. All right. Where are we? Okay, here and questions. Is there any separate course for and team? If I've ignored any question, please don't get me wrong. It's just the fact that either I've seen that to be a repeat or I've already answered it. That's the only reason. So team, I'm gonna step back and let people who have a question that is important and unanswered do me a favor and rewrite your question again so that I will take only the latest questions. That way I know that I'm not answering a question that is no longer relevant, and I'm taking the questions that are important that needs answer. So do me a favor, all the questions from now on, whatever questions I get from now on, I'm going to start answering so that I will be able to answer it. Which mobile automation tool is good to begin with? So mobile automation is more of a process and approach rather than a tool. There are bunch of small tools that will help with mobile automation, but unlike functional testing, UI testing, there is not one tool which you can say that is very good. Okay, there are many tools for it. What is very important for you to is to get the whole picture of mobile automation, mobile testing, mobile app testing. How do you approach? How do you do it? And you have to have a lot of hands-on expertise on device testing on an iPad, Samsung tabs, or any Android or iOS devices, and so on. What is the time for classes? We will either do 6 to 7 p.m. Pacific, or we'll do 7 to 8 p.m. depending on the audience. A lot of East Coast members complain for 7 to 8 because of the fact that it's too late into their night and so on. We will try and do 6 to 17. Okay. Any plans for web analytics, tagging training? No, Nalini, not right now. You do marketing? Marketing in the sense, not really marketing, just the fact that I've been in the field and I've been doing ITeLearn as an online business for a long time, and that is something that I offer for very very select clients. Are you planning to teach anything else, such as C, C sharp, or Ruby? Good question, Shavon. I'm not sure. I would love to. I constantly go and learn new things, practice on them, and try it. But it takes a lot of effort and time for me because I really need to go deep. When I'm trying to learn something and being able to get the expertise to be able to teach on it, I need to spend significant effort. So I have been very good at C, C sharp, C at least for a long time. Learning the other programming languages is not tough, but putting a course together for training is tough. So I'm trying to find more trainers these days than me learning new courses. I will see if I can pick up any few more. I'm interested. It's just the bandwidth. How are the opportunities for entry level automation engineer? Very, very bad, Swapna. The entry level automation engineers, QA engineers, automation engineers is very bad. The opportunities are only good for experts. You have to be an expert. How do you become an expert at one thing is what is important, and that is what I want you guys to realize. So please don't create a 5-page resume with all the things everywhere. Create a 2-page resume with strong automation on QTP or Selenium or load runner, any one of them, and show it in the market, or JMeter. Primarily focus on Selenium or QTP team if you are trying to really get into the job market. The reason is you're trying to get into a good job. You may not work on it. That's a different thing altogether. But it is a great entry point for you. How soon can start a career in Selenium? 1 month, 1.5 months at the max. People have started in 2 weeks. They've worked hard for 2 weeks. If you can spend about 4 or 5 weeks, you can start Selenium projects in even 2 weeks' time. Uh, let's see. I'm a manual tester having QTP exposure for present market, which is best approach to enter into market. So if you're already a manual tester and have QTP exposure, master QTP, get that in-depth knowledge, descriptive programming, VB scripting, frameworks, how you do the other things like .NET Factory and few other things there, and you can do very well. Anil, okay. Reena, what are the chances of a fresher after completing MoST? Very, very good, Reena. That is my absolute belief in it. You have to work with me. You have to make sure that you focus on it. You will love doing the project with the other team members across different geographical locations: US, Australia, India, UK, Europe, everywhere. People come and join these courses, and you'll be working with them on live projects. So you'll really enjoy it, and it will give you a lot of confidence. You have some experience on manual testing. Now get a specialty, and you'll do good. Can we become an instructor like you once we go through your program? Pratibha, thank you so much. You can absolutely, you should enroll in a program. We have a program called itelearn.com/teach. If you go to this, you will see our teach initiative, and it will walk you through what is teach, how you can become a trainer at ITeLearn, and so on. Do we download the latest version of Selenium? Don't worry, just watch the videos that I'm going to send you, and I will also guide you through when we start the training, whatever is needed. Lenora, I have manual testing. I have manual testing already. Can I just take Selenium and live project? Yes. Also, how are the payments set up for the class? So very simple. The payments are there in the pricing page. You just need to go in and select the pricing, and you'll see for the live project altogether it's about 470 or so, including the live project for Selenium team. Do we need server-side knowledge to join this class? Nope, not at all. How do I register for Selenium class? I'm already registered for MoST 4. Ojas, you just have to register on the GoToWebinar link that would have been shared with you, and you will be automatically as part of it. What is the schedule daily on specific dates? Typically Monday to Friday, 6 to 7 mostly. 1 or 2 classes we will give gap in the week sometimes, just for things to sync in you or a schedule change or something. There will be between 4 to 5 sessions a week, Monday to Friday, 6 to 7 p.m. Yami, is there any plan in the future to have some kind of boot camp training? Yemi, I did a couple of times. One, I did it while I was in India, a training, a 1 day boot camp training. So I took 1 day, 8 hours, and I went through the entire Selenium thing in rigorous project execution. It was good. I hope I can do this again, but again, it depends on the availability. In fact, I've been trying to think about doing something in class rather than online. I've just not got my hands onto it. Just the fact that the online world has so many participants, and I'm still not able to deliver to all the requests that keep coming to us. That's why we've not gone to the in-class things. For job placement, how can you help me in Canada? So Ojas, I really don't have a program for job placement in Canada. However, we've got many Canadians or people residing in Canada applying and getting a lot of jobs through ITeLearn. You have to work through it. I can also give you a few consultants that may be able to help you out. So team, the reason I have so many questions is there are hundreds of participants and everyone have their own unique situation. I want to be able to make sure that I get your questions answered. So let me quickly go through it. I have 5+ years of mobile apps development experience. Perfect. Jyoti, would you suggest Selenium or mobile app testing? How is the market for mobile app testing around RTP? So I'm not sure why if you have 5+ years in mobile app development, why are you looking for Selenium or mobile app testing? Why are you planning to get into testing? So answer that to me and I'll let you know. How is the Selenium training which is coming up is different than the ones already available on your website? So Fiza, what happens is, okay, good question. They are going to be eerily similar. There's going to be very, very high level of similarity in my current live sessions and what I've already done. The two main differences is primarily that I will try and use the latest versions of the tools. So any changes, any significant developments have come will get covered. Second is that some people like to work on a schedule rather than going through recorded videos. They believe that once they get access to recorded videos, that they are not pushing themselves to go and attend. But when they join for a live training, then they are constantly pushing themselves, saying that okay, there is a schedule, we will learn on a schedule. It is good to learn on a schedule. But people who are motivated, they do 85% of our members come for videos only. They don't come for live. We don't even know who they are. They come, they buy, they start learning, and they pretty much are self-sufficient through it. When are the Selenium and Core Java classes starting? 12th, coming Monday. Just wanted to say thanks for inspirational and motivational experience sharing with audience. Thank you so much, Pankaj. I'm not sure whether I'll be able to join MoST, but I wish very best to all who is going in this training. Thank you. No problem. I wish you the very best too. I like the way you take challenge and inspire to handle the hurdle. Your voice clarity is too good. Thank you, Pankaj. Really appreciate that. Should I learn Selenium with Java or C Sharp? Which one has more market? Either one is fine, team. Take one. The other one will not be an issue. Java is more popular. C Sharp with Selenium is also popular. A lot of people have been using other programming tools also. Learn Java okay. The only reason I can say is Java is because I am teaching Java. I am not yet teaching C Sharp. That is the reason. Never. All right. But either one is fine. You're fine with either of them. Also, is the live training batch going on to be on a daily basis? I've just scared the schedule. Hope that's good. Santosh, I have 8 years experience in QTP. Almost I worked on all the kinds of frameworks in Selenium with .NET. Good hands-on. Can I be a trainer? Absolutely. Why not, Santosh? Please fill up the form and teach page like I'm showing you here. There is a short video and there is a form here. We will have one of our team members who handle teach program contact you. We go through a rigorous step process on how it works, and then we'll be able to analyze. Provide web services testing training near future. Hari, web services testing training, we already have the videos available. You can buy them. They're already existing on the website. How much chances are there for a fresher for getting a job in testing on QTP? None. Kavita, there are zero chances that we'll get a job for freshers in QTP. The reason is there's hundreds of engineers. There's one QA position, 100 applications. How do people choose? What you need to do is become very good at QTP. You should say that an expert at QTP. You should not say fresher at QTP anymore. And you can become an expert. I know for sure you can. I will guide you through it. You just have to believe in the fact that how we learn things at ITeLearn. Watch the demos, be confident, come on board, work very hard, work a little bit for about 2 weeks to 6 weeks, and you'll become very good within these. You do job placements in USA, Tansen? Yes, we do. We are not very active in placements. Our main priority is training, and as we get opportunities, we keep sending it to the people. The reason we've really not focused on the placements is there are plenty of placement consultants. They are hungry for good candidates. Once you learn the right skill, you will automatically get a good job. You just have to go through it. What is lacking in the industry is good training content that people can really rely and build the right skill that the industry needs. Resvi, I'm in MoST training member. You will guide us besides course to update ourselves. Yes, Resvi. So sessions like these, sessions on how to build your resume, how to prepare for interview, mock interviews, live project executions, and so on. All of this we will go through, and that will really help you. All right. When I'm starting mobile app training, I may not do a live training again for mobile app, Salim, not in the next 5-6 months. Hopefully, if we get enough inquiries later in the year. But right now, we are so hands on with so many new trainings to launch. That's why we've not repeated it. All right, I have 10 years of dev experience and just finished. Maithili, QTP, can you help get QA job in LA a month or two? Okay, Maithili, I don't do placements specifically. What I do is when we get requirements, we keep sending it to our candidates. And when our most candidates or any of our trainees come to us and approach us saying we're looking for a job in this market, we send it to our consultants directly without any retaining any percentage or anything in between. And they constantly do the hunting for the candidates. So team, I'm keeping I'll try and keep the answers only relevant to MoST and Selenium for now. This is the thing. I'm already a member. How much will I have to pay for live session? Salim, I don't know. Please write an email. I don't know the specifics. My team can come back to you. To answer your question, I took a break for work for 3 years after working for 5+ years mobile development. Okay, so Jyoti, makes sense. You have a break. So what you need to do is take Selenium and do a little bit of mobile app testing. There are some free videos available. That is enough to get started. If you just go as a pure mobile app testing, then you'll need to have hands-on experience, and it'll take you at least 3-4 months to get that. And that may be a challenge. You can also do it, but I don't have a live project for mobile app testing on the cards right now. That is why I can't say that. All right. So Selenium may be a better one for you. Selenium, WebDriver, Core Java, frameworks, and so on. Remember that, please. All right, what else? Let's see. Do you help us get a job? So I've answered these when I learned through videos. Wow, these questions are endless. So I have the last few questions, team. Let me finish it, and then we're set to go from there. I've done QA, done with certification, and now doing live QTP live project with Team Next is very good. What are my chances for job? Reena, your chances for job are very significant. You will have to get a beautiful resume up and start looking at it. I live in Canada, but do not have job experience. I don't believe you don't have job experience. You absolutely have the job experience. You are working on one of the most beautiful frameworks that the world has ever seen in automation as part of our QTP live project currently. You focus on it, another 2-3 weeks into it, you see the results that will come out for us. All right. I'm from India. How I can get placement in US or UK? Vijender, you have to speak to one of our consultants in India, my team members. They will be able to guide you through that career aspiration. 7 years of manual testing experience. Can we get Selenium training? Absolutely. Why not? I'm even asking people with 0 years to take the training. So 7 years doesn't matter if we have 7 or 0 years. Doesn't matter even if you're non-IT. I just want you to be a Selenium expert, and I think you'd get good jobs with being a Selenium expert, even if you come from a non-IT background. Is it possible for you to help me with job placements in Melbourne, Australia? So, Bhuvna, many participants have come from Australia. There are lots of them. There are great requirements, and there's a huge dearth of good candidates in the Australian subcontinent. You should look at the job placement. So, what I'm doing is not really placing people, but we will refer you to the placement companies which will help you there. All right. How to get ISTQB certification as ASAP? So Anil, you're clear. You want ISTQB certification and you want it now. You very good. So, guys, listen. ISTQB. There's an ISTQB training out here. There's a complete list of questions and what happens, what is there as part of it, and so on. So you could go through it and see if it really can help you. All right. So, team, I have reached the end of the session. Thank you so much for the participation. I sincerely apologize for any of you whom I have not answered a question for. But if there are further questions that you have, you can always go to register to live webinars page where the live webinar registration form is available. In this page, after you see the registration form, you also have a section where you can ask your questions to us. Just fill in your question and your name, and you will see all the questions that have been asked for a long time since October of, oh, this is at least 2 years old, 1.5 year old. So bunch of questions that come up all the way to the recent ones. So here it will be a good position for you to ask the questions and get an answer. All right, everyone. Thank you so much. I appreciate you joining. I sincerely hope I've inspired you. And it does not have to be my training. I just want you to be a specialist at something. Be very inspired with the superheroes that you see in your daily world. Take something as an inspiration. Keep sharpening your claws. Keep going, attending webinars, trainings. Challenge yourself, push yourself, be motivated, and I'm sure you will do it. The reason I love to take these sessions is because one, I get to hear from a lot of you. It's great to be speaking in front of an audience, and I also love the upcoming trainings. So I get very huge kick by doing these sessions, and that inspires me, team. And that's why I keep doing it, and I'm glad I have a listener base as well. So I wish you all the best. Thank you so much. Sorry, the session did get extended because there were so many questions there, and do definitely take benefit of the split payment offer. It will not be something that we do it regularly, so you could use that for the most. And I wish you all the best. Thank you, everyone. Take care. Have a wonderful week ahead and a year ahead. Happy New Year, everyone. Thanks. Bye.